unconscious. 171, Intervention 171, 1 Manchester Boulevard, Russell Manchester Boulevard.
You're all right, you're gonna have to move that.
Okay, where do you want it?
Let me roll the window up, and then you'll be able to find a better spot. Because I usually have the windows up. So, ready? All right, so now go ahead and put it where you need to put it. And if I need to stop so you can re-look, that's fine too.
Stabilizing cameras.
So usually I have these windows up, and then I'll roll these ones back for some air. What's up, guys? Welcome to Hollywood, California. 61 degrees. Still November 5th at 10:11. Everybody, meet Peter.
Hi,
Peter, who are you? Where are you from?
I'm a photographer from Sweden, LOUDLABS. I'm here to follow you tonight. See what's going on in Los Angeles.
Should be fun and exciting.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yay, hopefully we can get something for Peter. That'd be great. And everyone's saying hello to you, Peter. Peter's busy.
Yeah, just a short while. Let's fix this.
87, crossing Laurel Park Road.
My goal is to get Peter a story, even if it's the type of story that might not make it on TV in the morning. Doesn't matter. I need to get him some content. So even a felony stop is better than nothing for Peter. So I've been doing this a while, and over the years, I understand what people want when they come ride with me. They just want to see stuff. They don't necessarily want to see me put stuff on TV. They're more here for the excitement. Like, it'd be great if we shot a fire and that fire was on TV in the morning, but he doesn't care about that footage on TV. He just cares about me at that fire. And now we have big cameras, big lenses. Ooh, can't see. Oh, there you kind of can now. Ooh. Cameras are back. No, not season 2.
Will it be season 2?
Will there be a season 2? Look at that. Already asking questions. As of right now, not that I'm aware of. We're 2 years in, and no one said go, so I'm going to say no at this time. I'm going to say no. I started live streaming, so we got Scott in the Dark here, or Shot in the Dark Part 2. But yeah, I don't know about a second season as of right now.
163 and 3. Was there last 3? 63 Adam 1 was 163 Adam 1.
So tell me, how do we work?
How do I work? Well, that's a good question. How do I work?
I'll see if I can lure him away.
It's changed over the years how I work, but it's all basically the same. Hear a story, go to the story, send the story. It's kind of what it is. Just like, what is it, ABC? See it, shoot it, send it? But it's not always see it, shoot it, send it. It's see it, shoot it, judgment call.
Traffic collision, LS.
A story that happens right now could be completely different than the exact same story that happens tomorrow. It all depends on the circumstances and things surrounding it. A crash with a fire might make news today. A crash with a fire might not make news tomorrow. It all depends on how things go. And that's one of the dumb things about the job is I'm sitting here and looking for people's misery. But I make my living with a camera. That makes me happy. Also, I have nothing to do with what happens. I'm just here to document it.
You get everything from the radio, or you get tips from the...
I'm old school. I'm old school. New school stringers, they have Twitter and different people and teams and ways. I just listen to the scanners. I'm pretty sure there's some other ways I could be doing it, but you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Uh-oh, that's not good. Sorry. Woo! I'm gonna fix that right now. I'm gonna fix that. There we go. What a difference one person makes.
Yeah.
It really does. All right, here we go. So, for those of you who are wondering what's going on, Peter is he was in New York doing some Harvey Weinstein stuff.
Yeah.
And then he came here to do some homeless and Scott stuff, and then he's en route to San Francisco tomorrow.
Yeah, that's correct.
Tomorrow to do some more homeless stuff.
Yeah.
So he's had himself a busy, what do you guys call it? Vacation, holiday? You're working though, right?
Yeah, it's business.
So it's business. It's business. So I take it you are a world traveler?
Yeah.
Look at me asking him the questions.
I'm doing everything from sports to... like this.
Everything from sports to elections?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Politics.
Politics. You guys have fun with our politics? Do you make fun of our politics, or do you try to take it serious?
I try to take it serious, but sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, I gotcha. I understand. That's the last thing I need, for me to show up on Swedish news talking about President Trump.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad. We are supposed to get a foot of snow on Wednesday and another foot on Thursday. Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I hear.
How many subscribers do you have?
128,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Yeah, it's had a couple spurts. The first spurt I would say is the journalist Michael Hastings. You know who Michael Hastings?
No.
Worked for Rolling Stone, died in a car crash. Wrote that article about, I think it was General McCarthy. And the general was talking some crap on Obama. He wrote the Rolling Stone article. That general got fired. Brad Pitt played that general in a movie. But anyways, there's a journalist who died, and there's a conspiracy behind it, thinking that the government, CIA, was involved. So the subscriptions went up then. Then they went up when the TV show hit, or the Netflix show. They went up again, and then they went up again when I started streaming. I started streaming about a year ago. I started streaming, I kind of started streaming to show people what the job is really like.
Yeah.
What you saw on TV was the best. All the best stuff put into episode after episode after episode of the best stuff. That took, what? We started in December and got done in August. So 9 months. So I started streaming to show people that it's a slow deal. It's not wow, go. It's not as crazy as they edit it to look. It has its moments.
So, in real life, it's not that big competition like this.
Oh, no. In real life, there's competition. It's big competition. When there is a story to get, there is usually not one of us there. The competition's real. It ain't no joke. But the action happening all the time isn't the thing. There's a story everywhere, but we're so spread out, and there's so many of us now. That's another reason why I started streaming, was so many people started showing up because of the show, and I was like, hey man, I need to show people that it's not what you think it is.
Okay.
So I started streaming to show people it's not what you thought it was. And not many people, come and stay. Most of them come and go. Or they find themselves on one of the teams. I've hired a few people since the show. All right, look at that. That place ain't ugly. Beautiful downtown LA. So hopefully we'll get somebody somebody on here who speaks Peter's native
Swedish.
tongue, speaks Swedish, and start having a convo with Peter. I did ask Peter a question, and he did answer me. And no, Zach and Howard did not get back to him.
That's correct. But are you friends in real life or not?
Are we friends in real life or not? That's a really good question. That is a really good question. Zach and I were friends when he came out, or cordial associates. And then when he started getting a little better at the job and became the main guy for on scene, started yapping his mouth, we kind of weren't friends so much. Howard and I have always been friends since the beginning, since meeting Howard. The past year, some of that has changed, but if we were at a scene together and there was an incident and he needed help, I would help him.
How often do you meet him now when you're out on the road?
I don't see him as much as the show showed. Also, we cover different areas now, but when the show happened, we all covered the same area because we all wanted to get that story. So if there was a good story, we're like, oh, I can't have him go get it, I gotta go get that. Oh, I can't have him. So during the taping of the show, it was very rarely that we were in different areas, but it did happen.
What's the biggest difference before shot in the dark and after?
Biggest difference before shot in the dark and the biggest difference after, I'm going to say the amount of photographers, the amount of new cameramen that are showing up at the scenes, the amount of people who call themselves stringers. And I'm not being mean or rude when I say this, but when you record something and you put it on the internet, that doesn't necessarily mean you're a stringer. You need to be selling yourself. You need to be selling your stuff to the stations. We kind of have a thing called internet stringers. There's some people that go out and just post on the internet. Now, I'm not saying that's not going to work. You're going to get your stuff on TV. You're going to get noticed. I'll start to notice you. So it does help when you do that. But some people are like, nah, I'm a stringer. And it's like, are you? But that's probably the main difference. The stories are the stories. They haven't changed. Over the years, some of the stories have kind of changed. But for the most part, stories are stories. They haven't changed. What changed is the people. A lot more people. A lot more. And the Rams game is done and over, so we shouldn't have any traffic over here. This place was a madhouse a few hours ago.
What do you need to be a good stringer?
What do you need to be a good stringer? What you need when I started and what you need now are two different things. What you need now is a reliable vehicle, a very nice camera, drive, motivation, and have money not be the reason why you're out here. If money is the reason why you're out here, don't come out here.
So why are you out here?
I'm out here because I love putting stuff on TV. I love being a part of television. And I'm a part of it. And I've been a part of a couple changes in the industry.
Shot in the dark, they put you as the bad guy. How far can you go for a story?
That was two questions. One, you tried to sneak in something about me being a bad guy.
It wasn't me, it was Netflix.
you tried to sneak in something there, and then how far would I go for a story? Netflix didn't show me be a bad guy. It showed me be real at a job that is real. I always say I turn my feelings off when I'm doing this job. Turn my feelings off when I'm doing this job, and I do what it takes. When we were filming that show, I didn't have my baby boy. I did have a couple add-ons. I had a Michaela and a Dade, but the family life was kind of new to me when we were filming Shot in the Dark. So I was taking chances like I used to in the old days, and I also told myself the moment we got that show that I'm going to do whatever it takes to be the best stringer on that show. What do I do now? If I'm near the story, I do what it takes. If I'm not near it, I'll try to find somebody who is. Yesterday, a couple days ago, there was some stuff going on in Hollywood. I was kind of far away from it, but I was able to go there, got some things, got some stuff on TV, got a shot I don't think I've ever got before. It's pretty crazy.
Traffic collision, pedestrian.
Uh-oh.
158, went to squad 158, west 168th Street, crossing Brookline Avenue, Padian Road.
All right, we'll go to that. It's not too far.
What was it?
Hold on a second.
Roger.
What are you doing right now?
Right now, I am telling my guys where I'm going to make sure nobody else shows up.
People you work with.
Correct. If I put it out over the air where I'm going, who knows, somebody might have our frequency and they can hear us. If I tell you where we're going right now, they could hear us. So we're going right there.
Okay. Top secret.
Nope, not top secret. There are no secrets anymore. There's really not. And I'm live streaming, so there really are no secrets. But I do my best to not give it all away.
Yeah.
You know, there's really no secrets. If somebody was listening and paying attention, they would have heard the same thing I just heard.
Are you the best stringer in the town?
Now or overall?
Both.
Depends. Now, I don't know. I don't know if I am. At any given moment, yeah. Overall, through time, yes. Except for Paul Andrade. Paul Andrade is probably the best stringer ever. But he's not a stringer anymore, so as of working stringers, overall, ever, I'm gonna say me. Right now, this minute, this second, the best person's the one who had the best shot last.
Why are you the best?
Why am I the best?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be at one point, right around 2002, 2003, something happened where I told myself I'm going to become the best stringer, and I did.
So you think your competitors now sitting listening to you try to find out where you're going?
Well, yes and no. It's we all have different tools. And some of the competition is basically using me as a tool. I'm a tool.
Yeah. You're using anyone else.
In America, that's not a good phrase when you're called a tool. But basically, if my competition's watching, they're just using this as a tool. But my real competitors already heard it and they're on their way there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we might miss whatever it is, but it gives us something to do with you. It gives us something to check out. For those of you who are wondering what's going on, I have a ride along with me. Everybody say hello to Peter. Peter, I'm going to be repeating myself because people come and go. Peter is a reporter, cameraman from Sweden, doing something on me while in between Harvey Weinstein and homeless. So I feel somewhat, I don't know how I feel about that. Hashtag me too.
So,
or hashtag not me.
How big area do you?
A bit of an area. The company covers a huge area. Me personally know how to cover all areas, but for the most part, I've never really put it in a mile radius before. So, I don't know.
But it's possible to cover the whole LA.
Not anymore, it's not. You can't do it anymore. Back in the day, you used to. I used to be able to go from South LA to Pomona in 20 minutes. Now,
How could you do that?
because there's no traffic and you drive fast. Now, if I was to go from South LA to Pomona, within that 20 minutes, 3 photographers would already be there. Where 10 years ago, there was no photographers. Now there's 3, if I'm lucky. But I have a dude there now, so I don't have to drive out over there. He's probably watching.
You're never speeding when you're on work?
What's that?
You're never speeding? Speeding tickets?
I used to average about a ticket a year.
Yeah.
Now I average about a ticket every other year, every 2 years. I don't speed as much because I don't take as much chances as I used to. And like I said, I don't need to get somewhere that fast because there's already somebody over there that I can send, or I'm a family man now. I slow my roll. Every once in a while I'll look down and be like, oh, that's way too fast. But it's also because it's so comfortable in this car, you don't even know you're going that fast.
So how many missions is it in one night, you think, average?
I like what you just said. That's funny. You called it a mission. New York calls them jobs.
Okay.
It's like, hey, we just got off a job. Oh, how many jobs you get tonight? Here we call them calls. So I like missions though. But back in the 90s, a mission used to mean something way different. But anyways, how many missions? How many calls? You can go on 10 calls and never get out of your car.
Okay.
Or you can go on 5 calls and get out of your car all 5 times. So it all depends, man. It averages. It depends. I was out earlier tonight. I didn't get anything. Right now, this is, I think, the first call I'm actually en route to. Red 5 en route.
So what times do you work?
It all depends. It all depends on my schedule. It all depends on the wife's schedule. It all depends on kids in school. But whatever, man. I mean, it could be any time. Nighttime.
Nighttime.
I'll say nighttime. But I do work during the day sometimes. News is news, but it's really, really hard to move about town during the day. Really, really hard.
Traffic collision LS 81. 81 spot 107.
Speaking about hard, isn't it hard to see people in the worst misery all the time?
Asking if it was hard for what?
To see all bad things?
No, because I'm not looking at that. Like right now, you're not looking at me. You're looking, like when you look at your camera, you're looking around. You're looking at colors and light and focus. You're not looking at me per se. Same thing with me. I'm not looking at that dead body. I'm not looking at that fire. I'm not looking at that crash. I'm looking at everything around, focusing on one thing, and then figuring it out from there. So to answer your question is no, I don't get sad. Oh wait, is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Overdose 93.
I understand I am recording sad things, but you know, it's what I do. Some family members enjoy it. Well, not enjoy it, that's the wrong word. Some family members like being able to see a scene afterwards. It gives them closure. Most of the time, it's the friends of the family member that don't like it. So that officer just left the scene. I think I see it up here on the left. All right. So we're rolling up to a vehicle versus pedestrian. I don't know if it's a hit and run. I don't know if DUI is involved. I just know that it's up here on the left. Don't know if we mistransport. Don't know if anyone's dead All I know is a car hit a person, supposedly. This way we aren't gonna get in anyone's way. All right, let's go. I'll see you over there. Hop on out. I gotta lock the door. I think they're already in the ambulance. Yeah, they're already in the ambulance. What's up? Are you talking to me or?
Yeah, we can just
Oh, what's going on? All right, so
talk. What do you think?
it appears going to be a homeless person for the most part. It looks like they live right here maybe. Vehicle versus pedestrian. I don't know if it's a hit and run or not. We're going to find that out after this guy leaves and they're kind of done with their investigation. I don't want to go over there and get told to leave. So I have a great shot here for the most part. We could go over there, and by the time we walk over there to get the victim in the back of the ambulance, they're going to close it. So we'll wait right here. I think they're probably going to take them to UCLA, so they're going to make a U-turn. And if it's a hit and run, I have enough there with the shopping cart in the street, them investigating, fire personnel, fire units, things like that, where I could do something. It's not breaking news where I'm going to run back to the car and feed it for the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock news. That's not what I'm going to do. If anything, I'm going to hold it for the morning news. I didn't bring my tripod, so this is what I call a street pod. So if you look, they're pouring water on there, which means a lot of blood. All right, so I'm guessing, did you zoom in at all?
Yeah.
When on the victim in the back of the ambulance, did you see the victim? So I was able to see the victim. I believe it was a female, and she had her entire face wrapped with bandages, and you can see, you know, blood. So you can see them still washing down the blood. So that was them washing down the blood. Pretty bloody scene right there. So I don't see a vehicle, and I don't see them talking to someone, but I will go ask if it's a hit and run. And you know as well as I do from this industry, when they say no, the answer is no. But when they go, I don't know, the answer is usually yes. So I'll go ask them right now. They go, oh, I don't know, we're still investigating. That means yes. If I say it's a hit and run and they're like no, then it's going to be no. So let me see what I can do right now. Sir, hit and run or hit and run? Told you. It's him not knowing would mean he's bad at his job. Looks like he's been doing this job a long time. I very seriously doubt he's bad at it. All right, I'm gonna say off to the next. I don't want to go up there and talk to them, and they're doing their thing. All right, man. So, hey, we got something for Peter. We got something for him. That makes me feel good.
On that show, the Netflix show?
Yes.
I recognize that face.
Please don't be upset with me for anything you saw me do on TV.
I was like, how did I know that guy?
Gotcha.
I watched the Netflix thing.
Right on, man. Have a safe one. I ruined my own soundbite. I stutter step my talk. Usually, anytime somebody recognizes me, I'm like, please don't be mad at me for anything you saw me do on TV. And usually all the officers are great. Like that particular one, officer was great. That's another thing too, is when you ask what's the difference. Being recognized by police. Big help. Big help.
Open doors.
Big help. Oh, no music. All right. So how do we get out of here? Do we want to go that way? Yeah. Probably best we go
Oh,
the way we came. All right, and now we're off to the next. Hold on 1 second here. Make sure we're on gate over and 98.
So how do you transfer pictures?
I'll throw it in the computer. I'll throw the footage on a timeline, make a file, create an email, create a link, put that link in that file. You hear that, guys? There's your process.
So you don't send them straight from the camera?
No. Like I said, I'm old school. I know that people do that these days. I know they go straight from the camera. The problem with that is, well, see, it's not really a problem. There's ways where other people can do it, or you can do it with your phone. You can even send an email. You can put your logo on there, and it's there. It's just not quite necessary yet. But there are some companies that do send it straight from camera to phone to stations. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm old school, man. I still haven't converted yet. And I'm in no rush to do it. Like I said, it's not breaking news for the 10s or 11s or anything like that. It's morning news, and even that, it might not be strong by itself due to the fact that there's a major brush fire. If that brush fire continues to get bigger in the morning, that will be the only thing on TV. They'll start news at 3 a.m. and just show you live brush fire from 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. They'll break in People's Court or The View. They'll turn off regular scheduled program for breaking news. Breaking news. So right now, that's the people that are joining us. And you can see their comments right there.
126 people.
Yep. And that's not a lot for the amount of number of subscribers. And that's because this page really isn't for live streaming. It was mostly just to put our footage on and for producers and people around the world to see our footage. And that is where most of our fan base came from. But then I noticed I was getting more views live streaming than I was doing that stuff. So a lot of people don't quite like the live stream or can't catch the live stream, and I can't separate the two, so it is what it is. It's my live stream. I can do what I want. Right? Right. Google it. That's a Googleable question. How many people die? You can Google it. We live in a world where you don't have to wonder anymore. Somebody left a comment. I wonder how many people die, blah, 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 blah. I was like, well, Google it. Like, you obviously have a phone. You have the internet. You don't have to wonder. How old are you, Peter?
37.
37. So remember when you used to have conversations and you didn't know if someone was right or not? You guys,
question?
Remember when you used to have conversations and you didn't, like, you left the conversation not knowing who was right, who was wrong, or who was right, because you didn't have Google to tell you. You just had to believe what that person told you.
I don't remember it.
Telephones? VCRs? cassette tapes.
How old are you?
44.
And how long has you been in this business?
Almost 20 years. It will be my 20-year anniversary, April 4th, 2020. I started April 4th, 2000.
How did you start?
Started right place, right time, right skill set. That's what I say now when people ask. Most people that do this job, not so much now, but back in the day, most people that do this job know all this crap first and then learn that camera second. I knew the camera first, learned all this crap second. I was at a club, the Cowboy Boogie, filming my friends being idiots, and a security guard came up to me and asked me if I was interested in doing some other things with my camera at the time. I had a Canon XL1 when it first came out, so it was kind of one of those, oh, everyone kind of looked at it. So it got me a job, and I had a meeting with the boss. Following day I went out, got stuff on TV, been hooked ever since. Been hooked ever since.
Broken.
And you always been a string. You always worked on your own. Never.
What's that?
You never employed somewhere, working for someone.
I was working for On Scene from the year 2000 to 2006. Then I was working with RMG from 2006 to 2012. Then in 2012, I started my own thing.
Okay.
And that's where we're at now, 2020. Uh-oh, hold on. It's your side, so it's okay. All right, so we're gonna stage. Sit here for a little bit and try to guess the story. And it smells like California because there's a pharmacy right there. These guys probably worked at that pharmacy or just left the pharmacy. But yeah, this area always smells like California. All right, so here we are. What's up, everybody? How we doing? That's Peter. Say hi, Peter.
Hello.
Anybody from Sweden? Blah, 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 blah. Eventually, I'll be able to talk. Anybody from Sweden? Anybody speak Swedish? Wait, is that a language?
31.
It is.
West Quad 31. 1461 South El Camino Avenue. Across the San Carlos Street.
Look at that. Nice camera. Yeah.
Outside investigation 126.
With vehicle description for area 16.
Maybe I can do some photos while we're waiting.
Yep. Hop on out.
Code B7 has no vehicle.
Too much equipment.
Nah, no such thing.
I hate equipment.
Count speed.
The RG, my location.
This rig is new. It's not what I want to be.
Oh, that's why. I see the problem. I see, said the blind man.
So we go on?
No. Just talking to myself.
Medical Rescue 60. Within 60. 2745 North Walnut Avenue. Across the 28th Street. Little PD lobby.
Alright, so what's going on over there? Nothing there. What's going on over here? Sorry, let me get rid of this light. Don't need you. There you are. There you go. What's going on? Doo-doo. I miss having the cameras following me. It's fun.
King Tom, Nick, please, sir. You're ready.
About 2 miles, intersect.
Phoenix 3318X33, are you clear?
We can see inside the house. How do you feel like walk down the sliding door in the backyard? We can't get in.
225 to put the 8 female officer at 520 North Alexandria. One controls responding to the request for a female officer. Erica, King Tom, Lincoln 974.
Jamie, I'm a camera guy. Actually, just happen to have a camera guy following me tonight. You're new here? There you go. So the person who said they're new here, check out the show Shot in the Dark on Netflix. It'll explain who I am and what it is I do. Right now, in between his Harvey Weinstein and his...
I like that part.
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
The homeless and the Harvey Weinstein. I love how it's a big gap. Big gap.
Would you mind step out?
You want me to step out?
Yeah, if you want to.
I can't hear things when I do, but
Maybe you can bring a camera.
Roger, on Adeline, off at the gas station. Boulevard unit number 27.
I'm gonna grab my camera.
Is that what you said? Here, 510 200. Light brown hair, light brown eyes. So 205
I can grab you
to West 7876 ETA. Location for a test stop. 322, the Paris Mothers en route.
7876 is a 111 ETA.
Show us in a traffic stop on Hubbard on Foothill.
SC 126. Request a clarification around vehicle, please.
1314 at Go Park Avenue, listed at 633, already 1180. Net 5438, National PI.
California plate 7, Sam, Robert, Sam.
Difficulty 47, squad 147, 11508, South Beach Boulevard, 5 freeway.
33 Council 75574, 2811. 77 unit, trust my suspect there now. 5701 Southwestern Avenue, the homeless shelter. Suspect is a male, black 5'7", short hair, gray hooded sweater, blue jeans, and a backpack. Code 2, incident 5639 and ID 1213. Is that Roger? Dumpster unit, battery domestic violence, 1900 Park Street, and unit 18. Correction 501, RD 1796.
you gonna send me copies of these pictures? Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome. 25, squad 40, 9040 Burke Street, unit 28, South of Rose Boulevard.
We did a photo shoot.
Yep.
77 Robert South 0701 Memorial 1993 DLW 4-door Helen Marie 127.
If you need light, let me know.
Fernando, what's identified?
You want this one?
What's up?
I hate it.
Oh, do I want it? If you're giving equipment away and you have a sponsorship, I'll take it. I'll find a use for it.
Monitor for comment. So 205 2146.
1313, San Francisco,
Clarify unit.
So how many people followed you when you're doing the Netflix story? Producers and
They tried to have a follow vehicle. That never worked. But they,
a follow team.
yeah, follow team. They had, there was sometimes, very rarely, there was two people in the car. There was one person in the back who had a control back here. He was able to control the camera there, and then obviously the one in his hand. So if he wanted to, he can have all three rolling at once, or just grab the side, or just grab that one. But most of the time it was one person in the vehicle.
Just the cameraman.
Just the cameraman.
It's like no.
But usually in the back seat. But there's no back seat. So that's far away. That's that. Yeah, I did hear about the deputy that was struck. It sounds like he was struck on purpose. I believe the suspect is in custody. That story was very well covered from the helicopters, and then ground crews went. We did have a guy who went there. I don't know if he got any hits yet. But that is a big deal, big story. So we got a deputy that was struck. Doesn't look good for him. And we also have that fire going on. So there's two big things going on right now.
Carrying the bag, almost being hit by passenger vehicle. Code is 56493636. Hello, what's time of their 8 Queen Lincoln 7, 8 Queen Lincoln 7, come in.
Anonymous. I got plenty. I'm good. But thank you. I appreciate it. In time. Slowly, it builds every day. Remember, I've only been streaming for a year, so I'm not mad. And it's also not the reason I'm here. Right on. Thank you, Paulito. Channel 5 on what? On the deputy? Right on. That's Alex. Alex is one of our new guys, and working hard. It's not the same as it used to be, but I know what you're talking about. Now, all the things I'm about to say are all on your phone, but you need a car, a scanner, a camera, phone, and what else? I don't know, I forget. But you need 5 things. What are they? You need a car, a scanner, a camera, a phone, and a computer. Yeah, that's it. See, you don't even need those things anymore. That's why I don't talk about it. That's why I don't even know. But yeah, you need a car, a scanner, a camera, a phone, and a computer. And yes, there's that 6th thing. But now, all of that, you just need 2 things. You need your phone and a car. And you don't need a car anymore. You just rent yourself a scooter. With your phone. Have you seen all those scooters? You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen the scooters all through town? Those electric scooters?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put an app on your phone and you can
We got it in
just...
Sweden as well.
Yeah, so...
Everywhere.
But you just need a scooter and your phone, and you can do the job. That's the difference between now and later. And a lot of times now, these phones are better cameras than some of the cameras my dudes have. Those scooters are the news, right?
So it's a lot of time you're spending in the car just waiting.
That's all it is, man. Just waiting. I used to spend a lot of money right here on eBay. I slowed my roll. I stopped.
So many radios are you listening to?
There's like 8 or 9. And I don't know if they're radios or scanners. Some of them are considered radios, some of them are considered scanners. To me, they're scanner radios. But there's a difference. I don't know the difference.
Metro 16, go.
Engine 16 Watershed has a 1-hour ETA.
Copy. Can you check with LAPD, see what their ETA is? And also, we'll need probably one DOT unit to close about 100 to 150 feet of the street.
What time is it? Already 11 o'clock. All right. So. Copy. We'll head into the downtown in just a bit.
John 801. We're launching west on Wilshire, driving at a high rate of speed. Information only on incident 5659. 26 focus 5 Victor Young John 937. Repeat across.
The good news is I already got you a story, so I feel good.
Great.
It's not a great story. It's not the number one story, but I feel good about getting you something. Now, I can take you where there's a story at, but there's no need for me to get out. I can get out and pretend that I'm filming it and stuff, but it's not.
Go for real fast.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can go where they have that deputy that was struck. There's going to be a lot of people there. There's going to be all the news vans are already over there. It'll be good for a live stream. It'll be good for that, but I'm only going there for that or that, and that's not why I'm here. I'm here for this.
I just follow you.
So sometimes I
What is the
will.
most memorable job you've been on?
He asked it. I don't really answer that question, and I don't answer it because everybody always asks it. And
We'll be here until they get here.
as dumb as this sound, I kind of treat my stories like children. So I don't want to pick one. That's not fair to all the others. But there's certain types of stories I like, but I don't really have, you know, I mean, if I'm going to say the most memorable, it's easy just to say the first one. The one that started it all. That first one.
And what was it?
That was a officer down. Hold on, rude. So I was on my way to a shooting call in Compton, but while I was on my way there, I happened to drive by and see a motor officer on the ground. And so I called my dispatcher at the time, my boss, and I was like, hey, I see a policeman laying on the ground. He's like, that call just came out. Go ahead and shoot that. So I shot that, and then he made his way to me because it was my first story, and he wanted to make sure it was TV broadcast quality. So I queued up a shot, and it happened to be the shot that I queued up was, so the officer's laying on the ground like this, and I put the camera on the ground like you saw me do earlier and zoomed right in. So it was just the whole officer's face inside that looking up. So he looked at my frame. He looked for literally a half a second and says, oh, we're good, go. And then we had the drive to a feed point. We used to go to a feed point at that time. Do you are you familiar with Pacific Television or the Switch? A lot of times that throws footage around the world. Thought maybe you would have heard of it, but anyways, I'd say that story, the first story, the one that started all, the one that put my stuff on TV and got paid, the one that made me a professional photographer, because everything before then I had stuff on TV but really wasn't paid for it. That was the first time. And it's cool about this job is because you get instant satisfaction. Like I shot it, I fed it, I saw it on TV, I cracked open a beer. It was great. Still the same process 20 years later. Now what? All right, we'll sit here for about another 5-10 minutes, and then I'll make my way in the downtown and then find you some nice picture spots.
You said everyone asking that question. What do you think they should ask that nobody asks about this job? Or you?
Every once in a while, somebody will come up with a good question, because I get questions every day, and it's always, when is season 2? What's the craziest thing you've seen? Every once in a while, I'll get a good question. What is a question nobody asks? That's a good question. That question right there is the question. So that one. That's the question no one asks. No one asks. What's the question no one asks? Hey, look at it. We made Peter smile. Yeah, so I don't know. 1022, no gun. All right, so he is not on his way to that.
So this is job list for the other guys.
No, this is right now I'm looking at California Highway Patrol. They have a public site where I can see different accidents. This right here is a map, and then this right here is my guys where I'm talking to my guys. 1022 means no or cancel. He canceled because there's no gun. This guy just got out. That was me leaving that story and where we're staged. That's him saying he's the blah, 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 blah. So right now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us out. Am I 6? I think I'm 6. So there's 6 of us out. And that's anywhere from Santa Barbara to, I guess, Palm Springs to San Diego.
You need to use GPS when you go around, or do you find?
So,
Just south of the 3rd Street exit.
It's over there.
Unable to stand by.
It's this right here. What is it? 110 North at the 7th Street. Per off duty. Okay, so I have a map. It is not GPS. I do have GPS if I need it. I don't use it that much, but there is an app that gives you stories that you just press the button and it gives you navigation. So it is kind of easy cheating is what I call it, but whatever gets you there. So I prefer to look at a map and know where I'm going as opposed to the phone telling me where to go, because 1, it's not always right. 2, I might go faster than the satellite can keep up depending on where we're at, things like that. So I'm somewhat familiar with where I am, so a lot of times I don't need it. But if I'm going up into like the Hollywood Hills or Mount Olympus, maybe I'll use it because it's really easy instead of looking at all the turns and stuff like that. But for the most part, you got to look at it like this. 1st Street starts over there and ends at the ocean at 2. Well, it doesn't end at the ocean, but 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th goes all the way to where we are. We're about 146, 47 right now. And so, you know, if I hear 56th Street, I know what exit that is. If I know east or west, I know where that is for the most part. It's a pretty decent grid. So no, I don't use a GPS, but I do have it as an option.
So where is most things going on?
What's that?
Where is happening?
Where are things going on right now?
Addresses Lillian Way and Romaine.
Right now, there was a deputy that was struck in the city of Paramount. Not looking good for the deputy. There is a fire going on in Santa Barbara. There was the vehicle versus pedestrian we went to. It's very windy in the Inland Empire. As a matter of fact,
Is there some place here in LA where the most news happens?
no, I can't say that. I can't say that because it happens everywhere, man. News happens everywhere. It doesn't discriminate. Every day that ends in Y has an opportunity to have news. And it's funny because I don't think you hear me say this. You might hear other people say it, or I might agree with them, but I will never say, oh, it's slow. Oh, it's slow. It's not slow. It's just not where I am. It's not slow. It's just not where I am. And people are like, oh, it's slow. I'm heading in. That logic does not make sense at all. And I'm not a philosopher. I'm not a brainiac. But because it's slow, does that have anything to do with the future? It's like this. Superstitious people think because they turn on the football game and the team starts to win, it's because of them. That outcome is going to happen no matter what. Same with this, man. This outcome is going to happen no matter what. It just so happens to... I go there. I'd be there.
You got any celebrity stories?
I learned paparazzi back in 2005. I learned it for 3 months during the summer. Not for me. I don't like it. I do know what to do with celebrity footage if I get it now. So if I get a celebrity involved in an accident, I know how to sell it to more than just the news outlets. But that's not what I'm doing here. It's not why I'm here. But because I know how it works, it helps out every once in a while. I do have an well, actually, I think he still does it. I do have a paparazzi on my team. he does more.
LOUDLABS.
Yes, he does more stills, but we're not LOUDLABS paparazzi. He does paparazzi for another company. But when he does news with me. And when he does paparazzi for the other company, I think he's a still photographer, not video, but he does video for me. And then there are some other ex-paparazzis and still current paparazzis out in the field on other teams.
Life 473, PR is coming down to meet you guys. Stand by at the front of the complex.
What's up, guys? How we doing? How are you? How much in Australia? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. New York at Altadena.
Rescue 903, Rescue 903, cancel, discontinue. Rescue 894, no. It's all locked up in the park.
Alright, well, let's go make our way into downtown. Hopefully we can get a car fire. I have a feeling we're going to get a car fire.
22nd Street.
They happen a lot. They happen basically between here and downtown, up and down the 110 off the side. So maybe we'll get lucky and get a car fire for you. Actually,
hard
what
to get to before they...
you just got to be near it. And then one of the rules I tell everybody is don't stop recording. If you're going to make your adjustments while you're recording. Record from the time you get there to the time the firefighters almost put it out. And that's because as soon as you hit stop to make your adjustment, that's when the action will happen, or that's when the tire will pop. Or to this day, a tire pops and I still get scared. You'll still see me go, oh. I still go, oh. I know it's coming too. I know it's coming, and I still.
I know the feeling.
So what I'll do is instead of getting on the freeway and flying up to downtown, I'll just take the streets and hope to get a real story, but you know, at the same time also a car fire. But a real story would be great.
Never afraid?
It's a good question, man. See, there you go. There's a good question. Am I ever afraid? I'm pretty comfortable holding my camera in any situation. The way that I grew up around my friends and what we used to do and things like that, I'm very comfortable holding my camera in many situations. What I'm not comfortable with is when I put the camera down and realize the situation I'm in. Most of the time, I'm uncomfortable on a freeway that's moving and the officers aren't there yet. I know for a fact, as you know, as the audience knows, as everybody knows, episode 1, Shot in the Dark, car's gonna get hit. So that's the scariest, is when you're on the freeway and CHP isn't there. The older I get, I'm learning I'm scared of heights. But you put a camera in my hand, you can take me as high as you want. I'm not scared until I stop and then realize what I'm doing. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. So I'm a very task at hand kind of guy. So my thought process is, I guess if I have a task at hand, I care more about getting that done first than my personal well-being.
Does that change anything since you got a...
Well, 1 second. Sorry, what was that?
You said you had a child now. Has it changed your way of working?
Has it changed the way of working since when? Since the baby?
Yeah.
Or yes, absolutely. Absolutely it has. I don't need to change. I don't need to take the chances as I used to. I still take them. I just don't need to. Although they do pay off sometimes, but it's weird. No, I don't really want to talk about that. Never mind. I'll talk about that off live, but we don't have to be live the whole night. What time is it? We've actually been going live for, all right, I'll take us live for 70, 75, 80, 90. All right, we'll do an hour and a half. So about 20 minutes we'll turn that off. We'll turn live off. But anyways, there are some things I don't mind. I'll share with you. I don't want to share it with everyone.
Exclusive.
Yeah, there you go. Exclusive. Why'd I get on the freeway? I literally just said I'm going to take surface streets, and then I got on the freeway. It's just muscle memory right there. That's all that was. Leaving that parking lot and getting on the freeway, it's just muscle memory. That was not what I wanted to do. But I'll stay on the freeway actually and give you a great shot heading into downtown.
41 of you is dispatch on a motorcycle intersection of Sunset and Wilcox.
Oh, we were just right there earlier. So yeah, so for the next 20 minutes, if we get a story, I'll take the audience with me. If we don't get a story within 20 minutes, we're going to say goodbye. And then you and I could have an exclusive. And then also try to get something on the way back to your place. Now, because we didn't take the streets, what'll happen is as soon as we get up here, there's going to be that car fire back here that we would have been right with at the right time when timing. But sometimes I get ahead of myself.
Were you at the Swedish Shock Steffe? The guy who crashed his Ferrari 300 kilometers. It's the Ferrari Enzo.
Sven?
It's a Swedish guy.
Son of a... Alright,
Crashed his car
in Malibu?
Yeah, I don't know where it was. Really big story in Sweden.
The red car in half?
Yeah.
Are you sure he was the driver?
I don't know. He says not.
Alright, so it is public knowledge, but that guy wasn't driving the car.
Wasn't?
He wasn't. It wasn't.
What was the guy?
You can Google who was driving the car.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there, but he's a friend of mine.
And drive the car?
Yeah.
Tell me more about it.
Nope. I don't think he's in this country. Somehow, I don't know how he's really good at leaving this country, coming back, leaving this country, coming back. But the guy who did drive it owns a business out in the UK right now. And yeah, no, I know the story. I'm familiar with the story. Yeah.
Nothing more to say about it.
Like I said, man, when we turn live off, that's the second thing I'll talk to you about.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that guy wasn't driving it. He owned the car.
Yeah, he got two cars.
He owned it, but he wasn't driving it. He wasn't driving it. And from what never mind, I'm just gonna stop. Because that was like an international event.
Yeah.
And not just because of he crashed that car, it's because who the car belonged to and who that guy maybe was and who he was associated with and blah, 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 blah. But I mean, let's just say on the record, yes, the owner of the car that crashed was driving it. We're talking about a Ferrari crash back in 2006. 5, 6? This was a while ago. Somebody crashed a $1 million Ferrari on PCH. Hit a dip at 200 miles an hour. And split the car in half and survived. Walked away. Literally walked away. Yeah. So we're about to get a really cool shot of the city as soon as we come up and over right now. How often do you visit LA?
Whoa. Not that often.
Not that often?
New York.
How is this your, what time here?
4 or 5 times maybe.
Fourth or fifth time?
Yeah.
Right on. Well, welcome to Los Angeles.
It's nice town.
It's nice at night. As long as you stay in your car.
131.20, let's grab that.
So we'll stage for another, what is that, 15 minutes? And then after that, I'll take you to that photo spot.
Yeah.
Start there, that's 37.
Where do you live in LA?
In LA County.
Engine 2 assault 808 North State Street. Engine 21 rescue unit intercept and Ridge 1011 on West 59 Place. Agent 70 for Metro. Rescue 804, you can add a engine 2 the assault 808 North State. Agent 70 for Metro.
Coming to you. And number 3, hold now, unit, turn up, code 2, TDS, unit, air, and 526.
Do you fly drone?
What up?
Ever using drones?
Yes. Every once in a while, I'll use a drone. The further away you get from the metropolitan area here, the better chance you have of using a drone.
Okay. It's restricted areas.
It's not so much restricted area is the helicopter pilots aren't happy when you're flying your drone around. And so LAPD is always flying right here. So you have to be really careful around that. On a brush fire, it's just a no-no right off the bat. Actually, I don't want to go this way. I want to go that way. I can see. So every once in a while, on weekend stories, daytime stories, the further away you get, like, you know, drones are getting more popular.
Rescue 182.
Yes, we do use drones, but it's not like it's not like a tripod, you know. It's not like something you're going to use on every story, or like you're supposed to use on every story. Hey, somebody gave me money. Thank you. Thank you very much to whoever just donated me $3. Kay, thank you very much, hey Elizabeth. That was awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. It's a weird world. It is. With streaming, it gives me the opportunity to make money in between the stories. And for the past 18, 19 years of my career, that was unheard of. So there's times where I'll make more money from donations or from the stream than I did from putting stuff on TV. Only because maybe I didn't get something that night. Oh, look, I just got $2 more. So it's really weird. It's weird. Now when it comes to donations, I don't ask for donations. I don't really work hard for my money. I mean, I work for it, but does it look like I'm working hard? So people here are working hard for their money, and if they want to give it to me, great, but I don't ask for it. But if you are a trust fund baby or Elon Musk, just go ahead and send that money this way. Hit that donation button. Only if you're a trust fund baby or Mr. Musk.
Especially Mr. Musk.
Yep. Hey, you know, maybe one day he'll be all hopped up on his wine and throw me a bone. Be like, I like this kid. I mean, that's basically why I'm streaming. I'm here streaming, hopefully, to catch Elon's attention and for him to make me his stepson.
Grass Fire Battalion 7.
Oh, uh-oh.
North 128th Street, across the avenue. Engine 102, rescue. Stop at Engine 184, Engine 184, spot 290 West Melinda Avenue, across the Cromwell Street.
So, come on. Oh, I hate you. Hate's such a bad word.
Engine 13, rescue 811, unconscious, 1231, stop my brother.
All right. No more of that. I think there might be a grass fire nearby. I don't know. Doesn't want to work.
5218. Okay,
Which is stupid. Ah, see, that's not us. So no, the answer is no, there's not. But I can show you something while I'm right here. Remember how I was talking about the kids on the outskirts? Here's the outskirts. Somebody probably has a full-on spot right in there. It looks like they just moved it. Here's another spot. Like these guys, they don't want to be a part of the downtown. You know, the Skid Row stuff. These guys want no part of it, man. It's the outskirts, and if I'm not mistaken, all right, here we go. This right here is a really popular spot. I mean, you do have a view, but sucks. But like I said, these guys choose not to go into the middle where all the, you know,
shelters.
Yeah, well, not just the shelters. I'm not saying these guys in here are angels and they're not doing bad things, but they're not over the middle. It's all about selling it and, you know, using it and stuff. These guys, it's weird. You can see that they clean their areas, things like that. There's a reason they're here on the outskirts and not in the middle of what was going on, what you probably saw earlier today.
Yeah.
They're trying to stay out of it.
JLS 114, into 114, squad 135, 45804, 247th Street, east cross of Avenue H4.
So you work every day, or?
No, I mean, yes.
135,
Just because I'm not in my car doesn't mean I'm not working, kind of thing. I got other guys that I'll help out sometimes. But do I go out in my car every night? No. Do I work every day? Absolutely. Alright, so I'll sit here for a couple minutes.
Roger.
Medical Rescue 25, engine 25, squad 49040, Burke Street, unit 28, cross of Roseby Boulevard, stage for Sheriff and Rowe.
420, you talking about me or somebody in the comments? Oh, it must be somebody. Hey, more money, thank you. Made like $10 so far.
329, move up to cover fire station 78. Engine 329, move up to cover fire station 78.
So you can listen to the cops, fire station.
That's basically all of it. There's really not.
In Sweden,
I don't want to listen to the postal service.
In Sweden, took away the police.
Took away the police.
Yeah,
Usually, and somebody did tell me this, and it makes sense except for like a pursuit or a containment. But somebody once said most of the good calls involve the fire department.
Yeah.
So with that said, as long as you can listen to the fire department, you can still chase.
That's what we need.
Otherwise, you got to turn into a weather chaser and just start looking at weather maps.
911 hang up 37, engine 37, squad 134, 38101 27th Street, east cross of Avenue R. Rescue 68, first down, 2532 Dunsmere Avenue.
Edgar, close. No. Actually, yes. Many times. Many times.
Testing 149.
So I used to do a podcast, you know, like everybody else in the world, but I did mine a few years ago. And fake police? No, not fake police. Real news, though. Or am I real news? I don't know. Hey, funny money. Somebody gave me funny money. Thank you. But while we did the Loud Lab show, we talked about all my arrests. So here is a link to me talking about all my arrests.
34 cancel.
Metro from Rescue 102, go ahead.
Maybe, we'll see.
Do I have been arrested?
Updated the address.
Lots of times.
Corrected
In
address
work
is
or in private life?
12830 West Burbank Boulevard.
Well, this is what I say. Everything before the year 2000 is me growing up.
Copy, 12830.
Everything after the year 2000, work related.
311 West Burr.
But the very first work-related arrest was for bank robbery. It was great. Yeah. Obviously not convicted, but yeah, it's a good story.
Tell me.
2 instead of 5783 or 1345.
All right, so it's a long story. Let me say goodbye to these guys first. Well, they've heard it before, but I just don't want to, like, I don't want to start and then have to say goodbye. I'd rather just say goodbye. So, all right, guys, thank you. I don't want to start. I don't want to say goodbye. The donations just started.
Just keep on going.
I'm just kidding. Thank you for whoever donated. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't have to block anyone because we're leaving. So, oh, well, maybe he'll leave right now if, it doesn't matter. All right, who cares? All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for hanging out. Remember, tomorrow is promised to no one. Hug your loved ones. Later, losers.